Hi everybody, welcome to ArtDay. Happy Monday. I hope you're in a good mood. I hope you had a great weekend and you're getting ready to maybe do some artwork or be creative. Do some painting, be inspired, watercoloring, drawing, whatever it is that you're looking forward to. Today I'm painting another DSA character painting of a what's the word? He's a soldier. That's the word. So of the last two videos, you saw two characters that I already started with, an elf and a mercenary, and today I'm painting a warrior or a soldier who is from a different kind of area of the world. That's why he's gonna look quite a bit different. That's also why I gave him a different kind of background. So for one, I chose the yellow to be representative of the area that he comes from. So Al, as we like to call him in the group, because the name is just so long and a tongue twister, potentially. He is from a different island, not the area where all of our other characters do come from. And that's why I gave him more of a, let's say, southern sand, warm, desert kind of look. And at least for the background. And I also decided to go for the yellow because it will work pretty well with the look of the character. So the yellow will be quite bright, but it will make other colors look less woody. And I'm gonna get back to you on that once I start painting the character. But I didn't want the soldier to be a copy of the elf. So both of them actually come from quite foresty areas. So the woodland elf came from like what we know in Middle Europe, Central Europe as a wooded area. But the soldier here is more of like, you could say, jungle, maybe. So a little more in the sense of what we know from Brazil or maybe some southern Asian countries. So I didn't want to give them both a green background. That would have been boring to me. And also it would not have indicated that they are coming from different kinds of areas. So I decided to go for yellow and make the green in his armor pop a little more. So there's gonna be green in his armor to, get the green, the foresty kind of bit in there also. The character description that I got from the game master said that the armor is dark brown and green. But the first difference you can see here that indicates, oh, he's probably from another region. He has way darker skin, way more on the brown part of the spectrum, not really being Caucasian, not at all actually. And I'm using sanguine and I don't know what kind of brown I used. It's gonna be on the blog at 10 a.m. I used those to paint in the skin, make him way darker, a little more exotic looking maybe, with the shaved side head and that long ponytail and such. Just making him look a little more exotic, like I said. But I really liked painting him because he was a little different to very many character paintings I did, because, well, he's not the middle-aged Europe kind of person. He's definitely different, and he has a very interesting backstory that I try to, well, kind of implement into the painting. If you know the character, you will see where the difference is from all the others, and where the exotic look and the background story play in. It's way too much to tell you now, and also that's just between us characters, I guess, to play. But let me tell you, there's things in the painting that were described to me not by, oh, he's gonna have like cream colored fabric underneath the armor, but it's more like, okay, he comes from that and that region, this is the climate, that's probably what he's gonna wear, like fabric underneath the wooden armor. But there was no color description for me, so I went with the character description from what I knew from the character to decide what colors I'm gonna choose for certain kind of things. So I used a lot of warm grays here to get the beige tone of the shirt underneath, and also the pants. I didn't want to go for beige because there's just a little too much yellow and red for me that is visible. Gray is way more subtle in this regard, so I could play a little more with warm colors and cool colors, or make them look cooler than they actually are in the picture. But I love my Alrechjan pencils for that. I didn't use the Schminke Akademie set for it because I only have a cool gray in there, and not enough colors to mix a great warm gray. So I went with the Alrechjan pencils instead. They have like 5 or 6 different kinds of warm grays in there. And why not use them when I have them, especially when I'm on a time crunch and I need and want to get a painting done in an efficient way, because I only have so much time in a day to paint. And this is actually the second day that I'm painting. So the first 2 pictures that I showed you the last 2 times on this channel, they were done in 1 day, and all of the rest, so 3 paintings, were done that day. So there was a little bit of a time crunch. I painted the whole day, but I also had other things to do or take care of, so I couldn't paint 22 hours. I only had like 6 or 7 hours available to get the paintings ready and everything. So yeah, that's when I like to use colors that, or sets where I have a huge array of different kinds of shades and colors, because I can just pick them instead of mixing them, and it feels a little faster. It might not be faster. I actually have to time myself because I'm able to mix all of these colors on my own, but it feels faster to me. So and that counts, I guess, when you feel like, oh, you're making progress and you're moving forward with things. That might be enough to actually, feel like you're accomplishing things. And a certain painting where you only have a certain amount of time can be done in a respective timely manner, if you know what I mean. I hope I'm making sense. So now I'm getting to the armor, and I'm using a dark moss green, because that is what was described to me for the armor to look like. And I'm going to put a dark brown on top. So half of the armor will be green, half of the armor will be brown. It's almost like camouflage, but in a very crude way. And the story behind that armor is actually very interesting. It is not painted to be quote unquote invisible for the opponent. It's more painted to keep certain insects away, because those insects do not like that kind of color or the smell of the color on or the paint on the armor. So most of those warriors from that area do have very brightly colored armor, like all the colors from the rainbow, lots of pinks and purples and yellows and blues and such. But this character is having more of a muted version, but it is still the same reason behind it, getting rid or not attracting certain insects in their homeland. And I very much liked that story, or that kind of cultural thing. So I'm putting in the dark brown now. I'm using sepia again, having color repetition too, because I used it on the hair of Al. I really like that name. Just going around all of the armor bits and pieces, all of those plates, and just adding in browns, bringing them together, having them blend but not blend, if you know what I mean. So I wanted both of the colors be distinguishable, but also have a smooth transition between the brown and the green. I'm gonna add way more green, because this one, once it's dry, is very light, and that was nice, but I thought it would fade too much in comparison to the background. So I went in later on with a little more of a brighter, more highly pigmented kind of green, and it's actually from the Schminke watercolor set that I'm gonna put on top. I'm blotting away some of the color where I went beyond the lines. By the way, if you watch that format too, these were the commissions I took a break for. So I'm having a couple more videos to record before I can move back to Beyond the Lines. Because for my kids channel, it's time to film a few more painting videos, hopefully getting set for until the end of the year, so that I can use the rest of the year to focus on Beyond the Lines and ArtDay, and have everything ready for the kids channel. But that's gonna take me, I think, another week or two. Not at this point that I'm that this is published, but at the point that I'm filming / doing the voiceover. So today is the 4th of August, so I think I need until mid-August to get the kids channel ready, and then I can bring back Beyond the Lines and do some artwork, do some coloring. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm just Moving forward to the blade, I'm gonna add a little bit of blue and silver and such later on. But for now, I'm just sticking with grays as an underpainting. See, there's the blue coming in just as a little hue, not really having a blue blade. But this character has a lot of earthy tones, so I want to have a little bit of a difference there, and that very tiny little bit of the light blue actually seems to be enough already. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of gel pen and such later on, just to have high highlights, like the really heavy highlights. But he's very earth colored, if that's a word. I don't know, but well, yeah, I hope you know what I mean. Yeah, it would be awesome if you could understand what I'm saying. Yeah, words. So you can see the green is popping way more against that blue. Not that blue. It is popping against the yellow. Words. They're not my forte today, it seems. Going over things, again, shading a little more. Just bringing stuff together with a tiny little bit of dark indigo blue, very little only. Adding way more of the brown as well. Just layering and layering until I'm happy with the amount of pigment that I have down in the contrast and such. And then I can go on, excuse me, with shading the fabric. So I used a very, 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 very diluted indigo with a little bit of the dirt / green and brown that I had in my brush from going over the armor. So I didn't clean it out. I just added a little bit of indigo and diluted it a lot to shade that very lovely warm gray fabric underwear. Adding dark brown to the boots for those straps. Again, not introducing a new color, but just repeating the colors I used so that they are that the picture looks harmonic and quiet and lovely and all of that. Just the facial features have to be finished, so the eyes of the color and a little bit of brown for the lips. Just painting that in. It's a tiny little thing, but it makes all the difference, guys. And then it's on to the ground. Again, I'm using the darker yellow that I had used in the background too, to give it like a sand look. So he's maybe on the beach or like standing in a desert or something. And that indicates he's from a very different part of the world than all the other characters that I painted and am going to paint. And for the final parts, I'm adding a little bit of gel pen and such just to draw in some tiny details. And that finishes my painting for Elle. I hope you enjoyed and had fun watching along. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. The blog post for this will be up on my webpage at 10 a.m. CET. You can find the link in the description box below. And I would love to see you back in 2 weeks when I'm moving on to the magician that is also peeking on the left-hand side. See you then, guys.